Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Morning Coffee. I have my Crypto Morning Coffee, locked and loaded, ready to go, because we have some very interesting news to talk about. So actually, at the moment, the thumbnail is still saying, why did Bitcoin go down? I made this yesterday or only a couple of hours ago, and actually the situation has already a little bit changed. We are going to talk about wild Bitcoin predictions of billionaires. We are going to talk about more ETFs being approved, and we are going to talk about the charts. We are going to talk about the NFT space, about Veve competitors making a move. All of that right after the intro. So good morning to everyone. We have a portfolio here in the morning stream. So welcome to the morning stream. Guys, make sure to smash up the like button for me right away when you're seeing this. That would help my channel tremendous and doesn't cost you a thing. If you want to do something that costs a thing, then you can become a channel member, like the people that you see behind me here. You can be a YouTube channel member. Why am I doing this? Because as you might have noticed over the almost 2 years that I'm on YouTube now, we do not do channel sponsoring by any crypto scams, exchanges. I don't know. I do not have Bybit links or whatever. So yeah, the only thing, if you are liking it, then you can make use of that functionality. If not, or if you do not have the money for that, that's also fine. Then please just support me with a like. That's all that is important. Other than that, very important to outline here is that I'm a crypto and NFT investor, not your financial advisor, so please do your own research before you ape full degen into Bitcoin, altcoins, Ecomi or Veve. Everything that we're talking here. Good morning, Mr. K. Welcome to the stream. And yeah, I think with that out of the way, thank you to my channel members here behind me. But with that out of the way, let's jump right in. And maybe I start this off because I have the thumbnail now. I have to start this off. When I made the thumbnail, we were here, down here. This is Bitcoin in the daily candles, very zoomed in. We have been sitting at around 29,500 at that time, looking at the collapse. But we have been right at the candle close, at this support line. We have been recovering right away. So that is the situation. So actually I have to change my thumbnail to why was Bitcoin going down yesterday. So on the 4-hourly, we see it, that we had this dumping candle, right? And now and went below that support and right above it again. So that is our situation. We are coming back to that, but I really want to answer the question, why? Why did we dump? And it is actually as predicted, because on the Monday morning live stream, I have said that what I expect the whales to do, the market makers to do, is to liquidate all the longs that are being stacked because of the bullish situation. So we see here levered bullish longs are getting liquidated as Bitcoin market softened. So CoinGlass data shows that in the last 24 hours from making this article, so that was yesterday in the morning, 116 million worth of future bets were liquidated. 85, I think that's like 85 million in bullish long positions. So on-chain data shows that traders' bullish long positions on Bitcoin are being liquidated as the cryptocurrency struggles to gather traction over 30,000. And we see here on this chart, we see the cumulated liquidation leverage, and we see right here in this zone of 30,000 to 31,000 that there are a lot of these, and and then so this is actually the green is short liquidation, and the red is long liquidation. Binance is orange in these candles, and then there are other exchanges like OKX and Bybit that offer leverage trading. But guys, be very careful with leverage trading. We have seen so many times how people got dragged, and right now we see that market makers on purpose, they wait until these longs are stacked and then they rip them down, they liquidate them right away before we can go up. We always have seen that move every time we saw it. So here we see also the estimated leverage ratio, and it has been going up since April in this chart. Good morning, Energy. Welcome to the stream, guys. Almost 15 people here. Please smash up the like. Can we get to at least 15 likes here? That would be awesome. Support the channel with some like coins. But there is another thing that I want to talk about, and that is very, very bullish. So we see why Bitcoin dipped deep down yesterday below this support, and also why it is up now above support once again. But let's look at something else that could have been the title for this stream, and maybe it will be later, and that is from Cathie Wood here. We are going to listen to this together. Let me just quickly turn off. Actually, do I have the desktop audio here? Because last time it did wreck my audio. So I hope I have the. Maybe I have to add this as an input first. Yeah, audio. Let me see. No, I can only. Somehow I cannot implement my desktop audio, which is weird. It's at some point my streaming software just said you cannot use desktop audio. Oh yeah, maybe here we go. Desktop audio. Maybe we can do it like this. And then, yeah, now it works. Okay, guys, we're fine. It should be working. Let's give it a try. So this is Cathie Wood giving a Bitcoin prediction. Let's listen together, and while we do, I mute myself.
We went to a bear, base, and bull case. So our bull case is, I think it's 1.5 million. The base case is 625,000, something like that. Now, one reason we've actually internally, our confidence has increased towards the bull case is because of what happened during the regional bank crisis in March. What happened? Bitcoin, so as regional banks are going bankrupt and the stocks are imploding across the board for the KRE, Bitcoin rallied from 19,000 to 30,000. Why did that happen? That was a flight to safety. That is the insurance policy that we are talking about, that we believe everyone will want at the end of the day. Insurance policy against two things: confiscation of wealth, either directly or by inflation, or in the deflation world, what is it a hedge against? Right. It's a hedge against counterparty risk. We won't have an 0809 with Bitcoin. Everything is decentralized and transparent. No obfuscation.
Yeah, so that was great in my opinion, and she puts the words really, really good. Like Cathie Wood is really good at outlining in brief sentences what and why she believes in certain things. In my opinion, so what did she say? Let's recap. She is of the opinion that we have seen when banks fell in the rate hiking environment, in the recessive environment that we have been seeing, that banks fell and people's flight to safety was actually Bitcoin, where Bitcoin saw a turnaround and a liquidity increase coming to it right away from those people that were fleeing from these rotten banks. And she says also, for example, we have seen it at Credit Suisse. So Credit Suisse investors, they got wrecked over the weekend. You guys remember when Credit Suisse went down and it was sold to UBS? That the deal was made on the weekend, so the stock markets were not open. So people that held Credit Suisse stocks, they were basically receiving a cut of their stock value by, I don't know, 80% or something. They received some UBS stocks in exchange. Everyone said that's the deal, and they did it right away on a weekend, so that people couldn't dump their stock and basically drop the valuation into the ground before the deal is over. But that also meant that basically they confiscated the voting rights, so the democratizing and the money of all of those Credit Suisse investors, right? And it happens in many cases. For example, if you're bailing out a bank, but then also take a lot of the funds, or if a bank collapses, your money goes away, is not insured by the state or by whatever other party. That is what she says is wealth confiscation. Also wealth confiscation by insane taxes that are tax monies that are used then to save those banks, for example. But then again, there's also indirect wealth confiscation, which is inflation. Because if just for the ones that might not know or understand really how the mechanism works, if your central bank, let's say in the Eurozone, prints more euros, or if you are, let's say, living in China and they print more yuan, the yuans or the euros or the dollars that you have in your pocket, they are less valuable the moment that more and more of this money hits the market. So basically your purchasing power decreases while you're walking in the street, while you're sleeping, while you are living your life, as they are printing. So what people do, and people do that, we will see this also today, people do that in the countries where inflation is way more rampant. They put their money in stuff that is more stable than their own currency. So, for example, a good means until 2 years ago for many countries was that they preferred dollar or euro. For example, when I was traveling in Argentina, they were asking if we can pay in euro or dollars and not in pesos, and they would make it cheaper for us if we were paying in euros. And also you saw, like, there was, at the time that I was traveling in Argentina, the exchange rate of a peso, of a euro to a peso was 1 euro was 16 pesos. Today it would be like 1 euro would be 120 pesos or something like that. So had they just held on to that euro, they would have like 10x their peso amount. Doesn't mean that they can buy more with it, but they would have been holding stability. Now that dollar and euro are getting more unstable, we are seeing such effects there on more on Bitcoin, because actually Bitcoin is hard capped on the upside, and Bitcoin, even though it is very volatile, for example, I can jump, because that fits so well, I will jump to that that right away. Even though Bitcoin is close to its bear market bottom, in comparison to the Turkish lira, Bitcoin just hit an all-time high, meaning that everyone who converted over the last months and years their lira into Bitcoin, they would be up against everyone else who didn't do that. So obviously, maybe they would be at this point in time better if they had converted it to US dollars, which is still the world reserve currency. But the moment that Bitcoin hits a certain new high, that also would be out of the window, and then the Bitcoin investment would be better. So it is true that in several countries with high and rampant inflation, Bitcoin is a safe haven, is a hedge against inflation. You see it here. For everyone in Turkey who bought Bitcoin, that was a pretty good deal. Now, Bitcoin is up at 805,000, almost 806,000 Turkish lira. So it works. And that is where Cathie Wood, circling back, is saying that over the long term, people will convert their funds into Bitcoin just to have this debasement going out of their lives, and that will increase in their bull case that they're estimating Bitcoin price over the long run to 1.5 million, meaning that if you are only having 0.1 of a Bitcoin with that, you would still have an equivalent of $150,000 at this point whenever this is happening. So guys, Bitcoin is not to underestimate, and you obviously can also understand what is going to happen for blue chip altcoins when Bitcoin is coming up to such values. Let's quickly see the chat here. So Energy, good morning. I already said that. Dr. Knut is here. Good morning from Heidelberg. Smash that like button. Thank you so much. Yes, very true. Smash that like button if you want Bitcoin to go to 1.5 million. If you think that Cathie Wood is reasonable with the assessment and everything that I said here right now. Mr. K says, when did OMI get listed on OpenOcean? Just saw it on CMC. I don't know what OpenOcean is, probably an exchange. We're going to look at it quickly. I will pull that up here. And Moni Lee is also here. Good morning. Philippe B is here. Good morning to you guys. I hope you are doing well. I hope you have your coffee locked and loaded, ready to go here. Ready for that life-changing wealth, or as some people say, wife-changing wealth. So speaking of that, here's the next one to make us bullish. Valkyrie making use of the memes and launching their Bitcoin ETF, or requesting their Bitcoin ETF as the SEC with the ticker BRR, so Bitcoin go BRR, enters SEC Nasdaq rule-making list. The SEC has accepted Valkyrie's spot Bitcoin ETF filing for review. The fund would trade under BRR, a reference to a popular meme in the Bitcoin industry. You don't say. So according to data from SEC's Nasdaq rulemaking list, the proposal entered the official docket on July 17th. Valkyrie's listing on the docket is the second spot Bitcoin ETF proposal being considered by the SEC, coming just a few days after the SEC published BlackRock's proposal on July the 13th. That is very interesting. Here we see a screenshot of the filing. So BlackRock and Valkyrie are on there, and that is exactly the reason why people were stacking longs, because people really want to go long, people want to make Bitcoin pump, people want to buy more Bitcoin, and Cathie Wood with her what she said is certainly helping with that. Deadlines for those spot Bitcoin ETF approvals are coming into sight. So the application by BlackRock and others have sparked speculation approval will be granted. So what is actually happening is that the clock starts ticking this week for the US Security Exchange Commission decision on whether to approve or reject 6 applications, including BlackRock's ETF. But we cannot get ahead of ourselves, because so we see them here, right? BlackRock, Fidelity, Wisdom Tree, Van Eck, Invesco, and now Valkyrie as well. While the SEC published documents seeking public consultation last week on Bitcoin ETFs, the clock on the review process formally starts only when filings are published in the register. Initially, this sets a deadline of 45 days, but that can be extended to as long as 240 days. The Bitcoin halving is in 281 days, so that would all be before the Bitcoin halving, no matter what. the decision might be. So this is more or less the time frame in which we can expect final decisions on all of those ETFs. Energy is saying, got yesterday the payout from Veve, somebody else do. I didn't, but I also don't care because I'm in it for the long. I care because I think payout is an important feature, but I'm in it for the long run, right? So let me quickly pull up that. Let me see if I can find that on CoinGecko. With the Ecomi listing, if we can see Ecomi being on another exchange. Let me see that. You said it's Ocean. You said it's Open Ocean. Open Ocean Ecomi. Let's see. Open Ocean Finance is the leading DEX. It's a DEX, so it's a decentralized exchange apparently. Let's see if we can see the trading pairs on this one. Let me just share my screen once again. Can I look for the trading pairs up here? That is ETH. So can I say, so there we go. Let's see. Ecomi. Let's see where OMI. I can find it as a trading pair. So I don't know where you saw this, but at least on their own, on Open Ocean, if I'm looking at the currencies, I cannot find Ecomi to USDT. So that is weird. Maybe I have to go to you said you saw it on CoinMarketCap, right? CoinMarketCap. Ecomi. So let me see. Ecomi is actually down. Okay. Yeah, okay, I found it. So let's share the screen. So there we go. So this is Ecomi on CoinMarketCap. We see that it's now displayed in euros, so don't get confused if you're watching in dollars. That is just because I'm tracking stuff with CoinMarketCap. But here we see the exchanges that OMI is on, at least some of them, because also CoinMarketCap doesn't have all of them. Let's actually pull this up here. So we see that, for example, here Bitmart is not there, which we can find on CoinGecko. But here we see Open Ocean. So there is a USDC to OMI pair apparently. Maybe I should have put in this like this, and then we can maybe find it. No. Can't find OMI. No, can't find OMI yet. So it says here that it is on Open Ocean. That's 85 hours ago apparently, but we do not have a lot. There's a 1,000 euro volume, but maybe that's just not really implemented. We do not have any data as you see here. But yeah, so just to pull that up right away. So we did jump a little bit here. We still have two things to look at. So let's go back a little bit to the market. Shaq O'Neill is asking if I'm bullish on Ethereum. I am. I think Ethereum is the biggest ecosystem. It will do very well during the next bull run once again, I think, although it is obviously the second biggest cryptocurrency or crypto asset basically in the world. So obviously it cannot go as wild as other cryptocurrencies. did you hit, Stan? Morning, Luke. Good morning. Delgado and me scored a secret rare. Sold too early though. Got secret rare comics in exchange. Yo, following the secret rare comic strategy, Dr. Knut. So I got an ultra rare. So the curse of not getting anything in the waitlist drops is actually broken. I got an ultra rare. I did not sell. So the ultra rare is now worth like 100 gems. Maybe I should sell the Stan ultra rare and get a very scarce comic for that. Not quite sure though, because Stan is really a grail. Okay, so we have here Plan B. Stock to flow model update based on the latest data and halving cycle average. And this is interesting because Plan B predicted, or the stock to flow model basically predicted for the 2016 to 2020 cycle and a Bitcoin pump of on up to 4.4 thousand, and Bitcoin was ending up at 4.8 thousand. For the current halving cycle, the model says 54,000, where Bitcoin should be according to stock to flow, but we are only at 30 to 31,000, which is the average right now. So as we see here, basically we should have a magnetic pull towards that average line. So we see here all of the predictions and the error margins. So we see that usually in the last 3 cycles, actually the stock to flow model at this point in time had under predicted the price. So for example, here it obviously these first ones, they do not really, but still it's probably relevant. We see here a 16-point negative error, 16%. So Bitcoin at that time was $5.9 predicted, but was actually 7.1. And then in the next cycle, it was around this time predicted for 203, but was 358 actually. And then around in the last cycle 4.433, and was actually then hitting 5,816. So right now you see here the stock to flow model is suggesting a $53,000 but we are only at 30,000. So here we are in a positive deviation of 73%. So the error is the biggest still, and we will see if we are pulling there to towards this 53,000, which lines perfectly up with where we expect Bitcoin to be going. Caro is here in the stream. Hey my fathers, hey my favorite father, what's going on? Shaq O'Neal is saying, if you could only hold 3 altcoins, which ones would you hold for the next 1 to 2 years? Altcoins. With regards to the current state of information, I'd probably hold Chainlink, VeChain, and ADA, probably, if I could only hold 3. That doesn't mean that I do not heavily could not heavily gamble on Ecomi, but if it's based on the decisions of today, of what we know so far, probably these ones. And then also this one here, very interesting in my opinion. Bitcoin repeating pattern. So we see here 3 big relief rallies cycled, then circled, then the bear market trough, and then we see a slow and a rapid bull phase. And we have here 1, 2, 3 of these relief rallies, a bear market trough, and now we are in the slow phase until the halving, or after the halving, where we move into the fast phase. So keep that also in mind. We are actually, Render's also good. Render's also a good coin. Render, I have a little bit of Render. I'm up like 400% already. We will see how it happens, what is going to happen to Render in the next bull run. Obviously, Render seems to be good, But if I had to buy right now, maybe it could be, I don't know if it will ever correct, but yeah, could be a little bit over the top at the moment. For me, at least from my perspective. So let's look at the market also. And yeah, we see here mixed signals from the market. And by the way, we had someone on here the last times. It was like looking at 1 inch. So 1 inch is very volatile at the moment. For the market watch, I get you guys out of the window here. But you see here, XLM on the weekly is pumping. Casper is pumping again. XRP still up 70%. On the day, it's a little bit mixed. XLM, Casper, XRP, Mint, and so that's actually Mantle, not Mint. Maker, H-Bar, and yeah, the losers of the day are 1 inch and Pulse Chain. The rest is relatively mixed, 1 to 2 point up, down. VeChain a little bit in red, doesn't matter too much. But on the month, we can see altcoins still are in the driver's seat at the moment, while Bitcoin is still trying to find a grip in the chart, as we will see in a second. So what's really interesting is, guys, look at the yearly. Look at Casper. So had you bought Casper a year ago, that coin would be already up 15x. So that is absolutely crazy, man. But that also means it might be too late to buy this. It might be. Maybe it's better to bet on some coins that are still in the gutter on the yearly, like, I don't know, Near Protocol, ADA, Polkadot, I don't know what, like Chili's. This is not financial advice, obviously. I'm just looking at somewhere after such a move, there must be a correction, and I really don't want to buy into these corrective moves from here. But that's only my philosophy. So let's look at Bitcoin here. Bitcoin back above 30,000 after we had this little long liquidation. So now I'm correcting here the chat a little bit in. There you go. Do you own XRP? Yes, a little bit. But not too much. I just bought a couple of dollars worth of XRP way when it was down. Now it's up 100% or so. But I just bought it because I'm not so bullish on the entire project. I was bullish on the case. So in case that they would win this case and they would go parabolic, I would have a smaller position of XRP. So that was my play. So let's look at this here. So in the broader scheme here, we have almost lost this level. But it was, in my opinion, a play which we also predicted that it could be happening on the last 2 streams, and it happened. And now the question is, with us coming above the support line again, is now the way open for us to break this resistance line? Can we now come up and break? Have indicators been cooling up sufficiently? Maybe not just yet. Maybe there is another wave of sideways and correcting necessary before we can break out. But let's say this little megaphone here is still valid. We have been bouncing around in here for quite some time. We almost lost it. Maybe we can break out now out of this pattern. That would be what we need to come to our target, which is up there, as you can see, way up there at 46, 45, whatever you want to have it. I'm not too exact here with these numbers, but from our massive cup and handle pattern, we should be able to break out here. If we break out, this is no guarantee, by the way, guys. We are looking at this. It's still valid. If it gets invalidated, then we'll talk about it. But so far, yesterday I was a little bit afraid. If we collapse here, form a Bart Simpson and like crash down to, I don't know, 27,000, for example, that would more or less invalidate our cup and handle pattern. But it didn't happen. We recovered right away. We are sitting above this, but the time is running out on this cup and handle. So we really need to have this break above. Otherwise, we need to take this out and reconsider what we are really looking at. But for the moment, I still expect us to go a little bit more sideways. I think, so here's my next prediction. I think we are moving sideways until the Fed rate hike decision. So the next FOMC meeting. And that is next week. I think, I'm not quite sure which day next week, but the next FOMC meeting is coming up in a bit. And then I expect that we are breaking this retest on the structure where people will believe that it is a fake out like the previous one, and then come up in a couple of ways to this level and then correct out to, I don't know, into the halving somewhere where we curve out and go into our real bull run phase. That is what I'm expecting. So this is actually, this phase, all of these phases, this is actually what grinds out even more people probably than this bear market phase, because it's just going to be, after hitting this, probably going to be a very boring time in Bitcoin, where people just lose more and more interest. But you guys didn't lose the interest, so that is good as well. Let's quickly look at the DXY, but we already know we lost this level. That is good. It's coming up now a little bit, so that is not so perfect, let's say, for us having a breakout. But we saw in the last days that Bitcoin also didn't make a massive move on this collapse here, but it held very strong. So it should have been pumping. It didn't pump as expected. SmartyPants says, was up a little late, but I made it. Hey SmartyPants, how are you doing? What are you buying? Did you get Stanley on the drop? So DXY, we will see, depending on the FOMC meeting decision, we expect this. By the way, we expected this also to come up and do a bearish retest here on the structure. So this is still in play, and this prediction could come true as well. So keep that in mind while you're watching every morning stream, that we are looking at the DXY if it really does this bearish retest and collapses from there, which will then make our Bitcoin price pump, because we have seen that the trend is still down. Actually, even in the broader, the trend is still down. So that is what we expected. It all came true. We are monitoring this since ever, and we are on track. Nice. So Bitcoin dominance almost hitting the trend line here. Also Bitcoin dominance, this is the weekly. Bitcoin dominance will maybe fall another week where we go sideways and altcoins still have their time, but as we hit this trend line, we are going to pump, in my opinion. So nothing more to add to that one here. Altcoin space is having sell-offs. Not too much, but the altcoin space, after having this XRP related rally, is now having a corrective move. That I think will be even harder when Bitcoin starts to rally. But for now, this could also be a bull flag, and then for the entire altcoin space, and we go higher. And then we have more Bitcoin sideways action probably that leads to this, more profit taking from Bitcoin that leads to this. But it also needs bullish news to be having this. Now, Ecomi. So I doubt that this DEX listing of OpenOcean is really moving much for Ecomi. So as you see here, Ecomi has really gotten rejected on our wedge line, which we drew in a while ago already now. So we were drawing this in as a test if it was really reacting once again to this wedge line, the purple lines that you see here. And now it seems to be reacting to this and coming down and at least moving alongside this so it doesn't break out. That is actually That is actually happening at the moment. We see a green candle here, but now again we have more sideways space of at least another week again to that trend line. And as I said in the last days, and these are the last days. I don't see why I buy Ecomi here and now we are here, and I still don't see it, because I think Ecomi can still come down to at least where we wicked down here, and take out all of this this part. And at some point we are going to break this upper resistance line of the wedge, and when this happens, that is the first of many signals, in my opinion, then that we are dealing with a reversal on Ecomi. When 0004, I don't know. First of all, we have to see if the corrective move without news goes to this close to 0005, right? So that would be more or less here. Are we already in this move? I don't know, but for now, these are this is a smaller downtrend. Overall, this is a sideways trend, as we have marked out in this box. We had this mega wick up also, so we have this wick down and this wick up, where price action tried to shoot harshly in one or the other direction. You could also argue that you have whales sitting here and whales sitting here, and that they are trying to lock in the price action between themselves. Maybe you can argue for a descending triangle, which would then say we are collapsing, right? So this is all very unspecific in my opinion, and this means for me that I'm just sitting here and looking at what is happening. Maybe I buy, like, I don't know, I take $50 and I buy 100,000 OMI as a DCA. Like, maybe I buy 100,000 OMI as a DCA for, I don't know, every 2 weeks or every week, once this is going on, trickling down, bringing down my average a little bit, gambling on the Ecomi team doing something, right? So this is for everyone who believes in OMI delivering big time. This is a good time to DCA, no matter what, even if we are dropping another 20%. What I am saying with I'm waiting is I'm waiting with a bigger move where I buy 1 or 2 million OMI, right? Because for me, it's a difference if I buy 1 million OMI with 500 euros or with 400 euros or with $600 or with $500, right? That is a difference for me. So if I have this pattern and I say, okay, we could come down roughly from there where we're already on the way, another 20%, I for sure want to buy my OMI 20% cheaper, right? So I could DCA a little bit to be on the safe side, but and also we don't know, because 0005, right? That would be here. That is somewhere here. That is a big psychological level. We have seen that right before that this massive sell-off got stopped. And then we have this big psychological level, apparently, or not psychological, but a big sell wall up here that definitely will stop the price from going over this one at the moment. So in my opinion, that is all that we can say for Ecomi right now. We are looking at this. This can take a week or two. We can also start moving sideways again until we hit it again and come back down. But so far we have a pretty big established support already here at this teal line. So we will, I think what's pretty sure is that we are going to hit this support line. So even with my DCA, I'm going to wait a couple of more days here to see if that is being hit or not. Skidder says, morning PH, I'm normally working when you do these lives. On holiday, so able to join. I'm still cutting through FUD. I think OMI will have legs next bull run. Dave and Dan have too much to let it disappear. Yeah, but they also make a lot of it. I agree. They will not let it disappear. I agree. The big question is, will they over deliver, under deliver, or deliver on expectations with the new OMI 2, I don't know what utility program. That is the big question. I am for sure going to do a little DCA, just in case that they are just like after San Diego Comicon coming out with OMI news from that blockchain team. So I might be, I don't know, I might be saying that I'll buy next time that the next candle is red, I'll buy 100k OMI or so, just as a DCA, and then 100k, 100k, 100k over the time. And when it collapses harder, then I might be going with a couple of 100k or 1 million. I don't know. Yeah. So let's look at NFTs here quickly. So we have this here from McFarlane Toys. I don't want to cut out the competition. McFarlane Toys is somewhat a competitor, obviously, as they are now bringing officially licensed DC stuff to the blockchain, apparently on Polygon, with Raribles, built on Rarible. So let's look at these here. I will turn off the sound because I don't want to get demonetized. I don't know what they have as a sound. But so this is what they were showing. So there's actually a Batman coming up. Yeah, let's just leave the chat here. You see it. The chat is transparent. So there's a Superman, there is a Batman, there is a Batwing, I think, or a Batmobile. I don't know. So this is McFarlane Toys with DC. Their trailer, I think we should have that on our radar. Now, obviously, the discussion is going once again if this is the Bat car, the Batmobile. Now the big question is, will these be the first ever appearance of Superman and Batman on the blockchain? Or is it the Todd, obviously? The discussion is going once again between blockchain purists and Veve hodlers, and yeah, so that is what they are now having built. And actually, the quality of these collectibles is looking insanely good on the trailer, at least. The big question is, what can you do with it, right? So obviously, here you see like there's apparently an animation of the wing of the cape of Batman, shadowing and lighting, looking pretty good. And this is not to shill McFarlane Toys. I'm probably not going for this drop at all. Whoa, yeah, the big donation from Felipe here for DCA OMI. Man, thank you so much for that. I will for sure use exactly that amount that you are donating, even though YouTube takes a little bit away from this, but I will use that exact amount and put the double on top of it, so it gets to 100k, and then I'll buy 100k OMI from that. So yeah, let's do this. And then when we look back in 2 years, when the altcoin season is coming up, then we are going to look how much this donation would be in OMI. So the amount of OMI and what it's worth around that time, we are going to look at it. So thank you so much for that donation. I really appreciate that. And as I said, I will confirm that purchase with you guys. Yeah, probably on tomorrow's live stream. But that's McFarlane Toys, what they are doing. And yeah, awesome, says Energy. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. So let's look at Veve here quickly. Not too much. This is the calm before the storm. Yesterday we had the grail drop of Stan. Oh, by the way, I didn't tell you this, but I got an ultra rare. I said it in the beginning of the stream, but I didn't show you. So here, this is my post. On the 6th attempt in the waitlist, I hit, and 6th attempt, I mean 6 drops in a row. I tried 5, I didn't get anything. This is the first drop, I get something, and I got the Stan Lee Ultra Rare being assigned to me. And yeah, I was quite happy, right? Because obviously that one is very valuable compared to what this thing cost in the market. So what do you guys think? Should I flip the ultra rare, or should I flip and buy something else with it? Because it's 100 gems, and for 100 gems you're getting some other good stuff, right? The question is also, yeah, Stan Lee is a grail. The question is his first appearance a grail or not? Should I hold on to it for the bull run, or should I be waiting, or should I sell this one and buy something else with it? That is the big question. But my tendency is to hold on to it just because he is so iconic. Yeah, and it's an ultra rare, so not too shabby also. On the other hand, I could also say I flip that, I put some money on top, I buy some very big like secret rare comic or so that is costing more than 100 gems. So that is the case. Then we have the next Star Wars comic coming up. So this is before the military heroism in the Clone Wars and decades before their final confrontation on the Death Star. They were Master Obi-Wan Kenobi and his Padawan Anakin Skywalker. So yeah, we see here that are exactly as we know them as actors. Here they're looking a little bit different. So this is the secret rare. No, wait a second. This is the secret rare. This is the ultra rare, I think. Not quite sure about these ones. They all look pretty similar. But yeah, we'll have some variant covers there of a first edition of Obi-Wan and Anakin Skywalker. So I don't know. It depends on the scarcity if I go for this one, because scarcity obviously is king. Then we are also seeing first people flexing with their Veve logos and having Stan Lee here in the picture. Very cool stuff. Stan Lee on, so here, like, people are using Stan Lee for the mega flex now with a $15,000 or $12,000 collectible. That is Miles Morales secret rare. And yeah, so next drop coming up, by the way, guys, so just if you wonder, is today this poster. I really have seen enough posters, to be honest. And I'm not as much in the Avengers, so that I would pay this price for the poster. But we can still look at the price and the edition of these posters. So this is a 30 gem poster with over 1,000 editions. Again, I think Veve is very on the edge with these edition numbers. We'll also have this 1.6 thousand edition number ultra rare that is part of the Guardians of the Galaxy set. So this is not, guys, I repeat, this one is not a one set item. This one is part of a set. It completes a set. So yeah, so this one yeah, is going is important to know that, because some people might only participate because of the one set, and then it isn't. And then we'll also have this comic, cool variants, by the way, of the exclusive covers. Also 10,000 too much editions. I will comment on this right away. I really love the Spider-Ham, but it's too expensive. It's at 40 gems. And I will definitely go for this one here. So let's just quickly comment one thing. So here, for example, the 10,000 editions. I commented this on Twitter yesterday. If I was Veve, I would certainly go with less editions on all of this, and for an extensive amount of time, because drops are not selling out. So what I would do is I would make editions as low that not everyone gets, on every drop almost, that not everyone gets something, so that people really are crying for more editions. And then I would just gradually increase those editions only by like, I think, so you're looking at higher prices then for all of those collectibles. And when new people are coming in because of those higher prices, then you would just increase the edition sizes gradually, but so much only that, for example, for every 100 new users that are coming to the app, you only increase the edition size by like 20 or so. So that drops always sell out, that there are always people that are not hitting the drop, so that they have to go to the secondary market. They will be crying a lot about not hitting, but that's exactly what will give you the excitement of trying again and again and again. Yeah, not even sure if I would pay gems for this poster. Yeah, I think this poster is garbage, to be honest. To say it so hard, but I mean, that's a cake with some Avengers on it for 30 gems. I think they could have done better. And honestly, what happened to the remember the last Comic Cons? There was always like a wallpaper poster, like a large one. There was the San Diego poster. What happened to those posters? Why isn't there more of these posters that were actually like highlighting? So if I were them, I would drop a poster where it's written like San Diego Comicon 2023, because that would make people collect. Like, you would have the 22 and 23 poster, and there might be some people that are going to every Comic Con in San Diego, and they will buy every of these posters as like a collectible that reminds them of their journey. So I think there is an opportunity missed here for having that. It's like the DesignerCon mascot, where there's one of these mascots every year for every DesignerCon that you can have of these little little figures, right? So why don't you give people something to collect at every of these events, so that they can look back in 10 years and say, look, I was at every one of these events. Look, I did collect all of them because I'm such a big fan of that specific event, right? But this one here, not really. So yeah, that is for sure. So yeah. I will, with this comment on Ecomi Veve, I will end this stream today. I thank you guys very much for participating. Guys, please smash up the like button if you haven't yet. It would be really cool if you can get as much likes as possible for this one here. I really thank Felipe for the $24 donation. Really appreciate it. I know what it's for. I will act accordingly, as you said. You're making me buy Omi. Yeah, so really appreciate it. Thank you so much for that donation. And yeah, guys, I can only say good luck with the poster drop if you're participating. And yeah, wherever you are on the world, have yourselves a great morning, evening, day, night, or afternoon. Enjoy your morning coffee. Continue enjoying your morning. And I catch you tomorrow at 7:45 CET.